All right, hello. Hello, hello. Had to get a different setting. All the study rooms are occupied. So let me fix this board. Uh-oh, that board's gonna be too far away, huh? Huh. I might only have half a board today. That's not good. Might have to wait on the video, you guys. I don't know. Let me see if I can do some adjusting here. I'm no photographer, and I told y'all part of the deal was just record and go, so. But we'll see if I can make a little bit of progress. I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. My intention today was to go over a few word problems with you, some application as we call it. So word problems are called application problems because this is how we apply these situations in real life. And I know it seems like some of them are like out of stretch, but reality is they're not, especially when you're in your job field. So a lot of the application problems that you come across, that the word problems that they use in math examples are pertaining to certain jobs that you'll have. And in those job settings, those types of questions will be more regular for you. So let's take a peek. So the first question I had, it says, now mind you, I gotta check and see how this is coming up, because I don't know if you guys can see this, so I'll check it. The length of a rectangle is 1 centimeter more than twice the width. Length of rectangle is 1 centimeter more than twice the width. All right. And then the perimeter of the rectangle is 110 centimeters. The perimeter, not perimeter, perimeter of the rectangle is, what did I say? 110 centimeters. And it says find length and width of rectangle. All right, so I'm gonna check the camera real quick. Make sure this is visible on the board. In the, what you can see. Ooh, can you see that? I guess so. I guess if you make your screen bigger too, right? Okay. You know how sometimes you can make your screen bigger so you can see it? So just for this video, we had to improvise, and I was video jonesing. I had to get it. Oh, I forgot my timer. Let me get my timer. So what? Now I have about 20 minutes, you guys. It's usually 29 minutes. So custom, and I'll do 25 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I've been wanting to make you a video. It's been a minute. I've been video jonesing. I don't want to let y'all down now that people are starting to look a little more. I feel a little bit more pressure, but it's okay. It's cool. I don't mind that part, but semester is hopping and everybody is studying. So, good job. Like that. All right, to solve this, what do we need? Let's look at it. We have some information, and I always fuss, and I'm always like, read, read, read. You have to read math to succeed. And that's just what that is. You got to read math to succeed, right? So the length of a rectangle. First, we have to know information about our shapes, right? What is the formula for perimeter? Where'd it go? Perimeter of a rectangle. What's the formula for that, right? So we have to know these things. And the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is, did you say it? Yep, twice the length plus twice the width, right? And that's because traditionally rectangle by shape, by definition, it says it's a rectangle because it has two equal sides, right? The sides are equal, the lengths are the same, and the sides are the same. And by that definition, not only does it make it a parallelogram? It's definitely a rectangle. So we have that, we identified that the length of the rectangle is 1 centimeter more, centimeter more than twice the width. We notice that we're comparing the length and the width, right? What are we comparing? So we have a couple things we're comparing here, and then we're only given the value of one of them, so to speak. We know that the length of the rectangle is 1 centimeter more than twice the width. So we don't know what the width is yet, but we know whatever it is, the length is 1 centimeter more. Okay, so we're going to plug our information into this here formula and see what happens. We have the length. Before we do that, let's identify our parts. Length is equal to what? Length is 1 centimeter more than twice the width. Well, how do we represent twice the width? Right? L is the length. W is the width. How wide it is. And so no, the length is 1 more than twice the width. So that's going to equal, right? 1 more than twice the width. Twice the width plus 1. Okay? Take that. Switch colors here. You know how I like all my colors in here. So, we know L is equal to 2W plus 1. So when we plug everything in, we know that P, let me write that up here too. Perimeter is equal to 110 centimeters. So we have the formula for a rectangle. We've got our variables to represent the size that we're looking for. And we know what our total perimeter value is. I know I'm all backwards with this today, right? I just wanted to get one done for you real quick. And I had to test out and see how this really whiteboard would do in the videos in my office. So, we'll see. All right. Now I want to change my color. I don't want to use pink. I'm going to use bright. So, that says if 2L plus 2W is the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, and we know that the perimeter is 110, when we substitute or plug everything in, we get 110, which is the perimeter, is equal to, and since the formula says 2L, 2, but the value for L happens to be this, so 2W plus 1, and then plus 2W. Right? So far so good? Look good? Understanding everything? I'm going to check this. I'm going to check the visuals on this. Okay. Okay, it's not looking too bad. I guess I can deal with that. I'm okay with that. If y'all are okay with that, but that just means I got to keep erasing, go, erasing, go, erasing, go. If you okay with it, I'm okay with it. So let me see what I can squeeze in down here before we erase. Now remember, I tell you, math is just patterns, patterns, patterns. You do the same thing over and over. All you have to do is incorporate the rules for whatever you're working with. We're at this situation now where we have to distribute. So we bring everything down. And 2 times 2W, right? What's 2 times 2? They're both positive. And then 2 times 1. And then bring down what we have, right? Can't just leave things. Right? Next step is what? We distribute it. What do we do after we distribute? Combine like terms. What's 4 and 2? They're both positive. Okay, can y'all see that? I know I keep looking. Ooh, you can barely see it, huh? Oh, okay. That's not the best, is it? Okay. But you got to see that bottom part, right? Okay, so I know that's too far if I go all the way down to the bottom. Hope I didn't make anybody sick. So I'm going to erase. Everything's good stuff up here. However, this is where we benefit from a video, right? We can pause, we can rewind. What did she have right there? Right? So I'm going to go ahead. I hate to do it, but I got to get that off for now too. Oh, I don't have my magic eraser. So what I usually use, you guys, is a magic eraser. And let me tell you, those work wonders on these whiteboards. They're phenomenal. This was a new eraser. Still not quite good enough. Right? Okay, so I'm going to take what we had. I'm moving this row up top to make it more visible for you all. It says 110 is equal to 6W plus 2. So I'm just rewriting because I'm erasing to make room on the board. That part sucks, right? But again, distribute, combine like terms, and now what's the next step after that? Isolate our variable. So let's isolate our variable. And since this 2 has been our variable term, and since this 2 has been added, we are going to subtract it. And 110 minus 2? 10 minus 2 is 8. Just leave that 100 there. Now I'll give you a little secret. Tell you a little secret about divisibility and factoring. And this is just your basic divisibility rules, but 108, right? So I'm like, ooh, does 6 go into 108 evenly? Well, I thought to myself, 6 is a multiple of 3, right? 3, 6, 9. So if you count by 3s, you get to 6. When I add these two values together, or all 3 digits, the sum of these digits, if the sum of the digits is evenly divisible, or if the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3, then that number is probably divisible by 3. If the number is divisible by 3 and even, meaning that it's also divisible by 2, because all even numbers are divisible by 2. So if the number is divisible by 2 and it's divisible by 3, it's evenly divisible by 6. So I just love all these crazy little facts about math. They're things that you can't dispute because they're factual. So I love it. That's why I love my math. It's factual. You can't really dispute that. All right, and just for fun, let's do some long division for those that can't remember. And I used to say, did I show y'all this already? 108 over 6. I would say if you don't like fractions, go to the left side of it and thump it. Like it's really going to fall over, right? Because it would fall over kind of like so. And check this, if it falls over, the 108 lands here, the fraction bar ends up standing up right here, and the 6 is right here, and this is how it fell. So that's my little, if you can't remember long division, that's how it goes. Hope I'm not blocking that part. Did you see it? You thump it from the left, it falls over the 108, the fraction bar standing in the 6. And we go, how many times does 6 go into 10? 1 time. We multiply 1 times 6. We subtract 6 from 10. We bring down the 8. 6 goes into 48 how many times? 8 times 6. And we repeat that same process pattern again. No remainder, so we know that 18 is equal to W. So, are we done yet? No. The length of the rectangle is 1 centimeter more than twice the width. We just figured out what one of the width was. We know one side, oh, I should have left the rectangle. Right? So what we just figured out is this. And if this is true, then that makes this, right? And so now we have to figure out if the length of the rectangle is 1 centimeter more than twice the width, we have to show what's twice the width. If the width is 18, is what? 36, right? So when we plug it in there, oh, let's go back to the beginning. That's what we're supposed to do anyway. Let me help you with that. So before we had this, right? We wrote down that, yes, we're going to go back. That was right too. But let me show you exactly what you're supposed to do, because remember I had to erase the board. So up top in our notes we had L is equal to length, right? And then we had equal to 2W plus 1, correct? So now that we know that W is 18, you go back to what you identified for L, because if L is equal to the length, which is equal to 2W plus 1, you plug in what W is, and 2 times 18 is 37, right? So we have that, and then just to check yourself, of course, you're going to add 37 and 37 and 18 and 18, right? So we know 18 and 18 is 36. 37 and 37 is 74. 74 and 36 is 110. So now we know for a fact that we're correct, because we checked our values, plugged it back in, and we got the whole perimeter that we started with, right? So, again, this is what we call application problems. These are how the word problems are applied in the real world. You know, maybe you're making a pool, maybe you're trying to make a gardening area, maybe you're building a park or something like that. You need a rectangular space. You never know. But this is where that comes into play, right? How much time we got? 11 minutes. Can I do one more word problem in 11 minutes? One more application. I don't think I could do it and explain it as fast. So I might, because we got some good ones, right? I need to do that Mulder and Scully one. Have y'all come across that Mulder and Scully yet? That's the one I need to do. So what I want to start with is inequalities, I think. Or I was kind of skipping inequalities. But I think we probably need to talk about inequalities. Those would be helpful for you all. Inequalities in absolute value, right? So, 10 minutes. Let's see how well the board erases. It's erasing all right. It's erasing all right. All right, so when we're talking about inequalities, you guys, you know, or you all, you know how I'm always telling you that equations are statements of equal truth, right? Because they equal each other. You have an equal sign first off, that makes it an equation. And then you usually have, like, if you even have something like 4 plus 4 equals 8, right? Because you know that equal signs creates a left and a right. It now separates. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. Okay, hold on, y'all.